His second game against Seren Status, but over to Gorilla now. He's up against Wendell Lira.
Yeah, I know a lot of Brazilians wanted to see this game. Wendell Lira, of course, very popular in Brazil. The former player of Goya, who won the Puskás Award, I think it was 2015, with a wonderful bicycle kick.
I've heard that story.
Yeah, and now he just changed.
Oh, that's a little bit fortunate, but he won't be complaining about that. Messi just hit it, and De Gea.
Yeah, I think actually, if I know Gorilla right, he's using the regular De Gea, and that could maybe be saved by the Team of the Year.
What a start for the Brazilian, Wendell Lira.
Is this the first leg or the second? Do we know this?
I'll be waiting to hear that very shortly. It's the first leg.
The first leg.
Apologies there, but that isn't the start that Gorilla would have wanted at all. But we know Gorilla. He's known for the way he plays FIFA, how good he can be, especially coming back when he's losing in games. But for the Brazilian, that's a fantastic start for him.
Well, that's the best possible start. Like I said, yes, the former Puskás winner who, yes, he just retired from football, from the professional football, and just to focus on FIFA esports and his YouTube channel, which is massive in Brazil, of course. He's a huge star over there. That just shows how big esports become.
De Gea there just parries that one way for a corner. But talking of footballers, obviously David Miner still plays, but he's involved in the esports scene. How many more players are we going to see involved in this? As obviously Hullet, we mentioned him, he's got his own team now. Is it something for the future, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we compare FIFA today compared with 3 years ago, it's been, I mean, the progress has been massive. We have, I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we had maybe 4 or 5 full-time pros.
Yeah.
And now we have at least 100. I mean, it's fantastic.
Fantastic indeed. And of course, hats off to EA Sports. Since the FUT champions came in last year, it's just been an incline. It's just constantly been going up, up, and up in this esports world. And we're here in Barcelona for the first event, the Champions Cup, obviously presented by PlayStation. And this is a feeder into those playoffs happening in June. 128 players here, but only 16 spots from this event will go to the playoffs in June.
Yeah, I mean, the competition is extremely tough here. And there's also a thing, because we have more and more pros, of course. The level is getting higher and higher. The competition is getting better and better. And I think these days you can't only live by just talent. You know, you have to practice very hard. You have to work very hard to be the best. And Gorilla, of course, this year trying to defend his title from last year. And it's going to be very tough.
Oh, here he comes now. Ronaldinho, as easy as you like. Equalises like that. He knew exactly what he was doing there. And that prime icon, Ronaldinho, will make it 1-1 for Gorilla.
Yeah, he just runs through, he gets the space here, and just, of course, he's going to go for that, the driven at the far post. That is the only option in this case here. And Gaucho here with the 4-star weak foot is not going to miss that.
Isn't indeed. 1-1, 2 goals in the first 17 minutes. Back to square one we are at in this first leg. Remember, every game is over 2 legs. No away goals. If they're drawing after the second leg, they'll go to extra time, and if need be, penalty shootout.
Yes, so like we said before, a draw is not possible. We have to need, we will have one winner from each game.
Well, here comes Wendell Lira now. Ronaldo tried to fizz that one across to the other Ronaldo, of course, icon Ronaldo in action. And CR7, as some will call him. But quite an aggressive start from the Brazilian. He's not scared, is he?
No, definitely not. I mean, coming from real-life football, you can imagine that he has good confidence from before, and I think he's definitely not scared of Gorilla here. And like I said, yes, he's huge in Brazil, and he has, I think, 10,000 of fans now watching him and wanting to see win this game. He can feel the support, surely.
I believe they both got big followings on YouTube, of course. Some Brazilian fans, some English fans. They all want their one player to win, but only one player will win this one. Remember, it's Swiss style, guys. Today is Swiss style, going into the round of 32 later in the broadcast. So what that means is 2-legged games. You play, basically, this game right here is based on November qualifying month. For example, Shells finished, Megabit finished top, obviously, over on the Xbox side. He'll play against 64th. Then second place plays against 63rd. Here comes a free kick from Gorilla now off the training ground. Ronaldo from distance tried to hit that one. That will be blocked by the other Ronaldo. But back to that point, they'll play against those rankings from November. After that first game, they'll come down. There's a chance! And icon Ronaldo. We hear about how good he is at finishing the ball. But there we go, 2-1, 30 minutes on the clock, and Gorilla is in control.
It's a very simple goal, and that is the power of El Fenomeno R9, because he has that 5-star weak foot, and as a defensive player, it's so hard to guess. Will it go left, will it go right? And even though you guess right, I mean, this guy has 5-star weak foot, and he can score from every single angle.
And in those weekend league games, you know, a lot of the guys stream the games. You see that Ronaldo card, scoring goals from everywhere. Here comes Gorilla again, deflection there, and that will go up for a corner now. Probably going to play it short. No, he isn't, into the front post. Ronaldo's there for the flick one if he needs it. Only as far as into the box instead. Maybe we can see this one being whipped in from Marcelo, but just going to be recycled out to Rio Ferdinand. And that Ronaldo card that just scored for Gorilla, just making an option for him. Don't think he's going to be shooting with Rio Ferdinand, and a chance to attack for the Brazilian now.
Yeah, we can see that Gorilla is getting his heat up in his system, and he's a player who never stops. Even if he has a 5-1 lead, he will not stop trying to attack.
A chance for Wendell Lira. Put it past the keeper. Massive save from De Gea.
Yeah, we could also see here how Gorilla in the last second, he moves his goalkeeper with the right stick to get him in the position to cover that far post, and that is what saves this equalizer.
Straight down the other end. Can he get it? No, he can't. De Gea will be there. But this is counter-attack versus counter-attack football. Really exciting, isn't it, to see?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Gorilla, he loves the attacking game style, and there will be a lot of chances in this game from both sides.
Have you come up against Gorilla? Or practiced against him?
Well, actually, funny story when you ask me, because I played him twice in the old Gfinity tournaments. I think it was FIFA 15-16. Actually, it was FIFA 16, so not so long ago. I played him in the qualification twice. And actually, I won both times. So
you win?
Yeah.
Oh, here comes that card again. What a save from De Gea. And we go up for a corner again, but going into the end of this first half, you've got to say, Gorilla's had all the chances, and Ramos fantastic with the header.
Yeah, going for that just powerful and short corner at the first post, and it's you have Ramos there, you have Ronaldo there, and they're gonna win it. And just aiming for that far post, which is totally open. It's a very nice goal.
Captain fantastic, you could say. Team of the year, I'm presuming Ramos, that's going to be. That card,
yeah, he's powerful.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you can see here in this sequence how he out jumps Ruud Gullit, and Ruud Gullit is 190. So he is a fantastic player, monstrous player.
This is only the first leg game, remember. There's still plenty of time in this one, which could mean plenty more goals to come. Wendell Lira playing the Brazilian kick. Can he get a goal back? Big goal. Did ever so well. Fake to go one way and slotted it in with the other. Ronaldo runs away, and 3-2 we're at now.
And once again, we can see how Gorilla is trying to move his goalkeeper to cover the far post, but this time the finishing is simply too precise to stop this effort, and it's still a game, 3-2.
And Wendell Lira, ex-professional footballer, now in the esports world, just getting himself a goal back in this tie. When you're up against the world champion, it's never going to be an easy day, is it?
Well, never. And I mean, when you get into trouble with Gorilla, you get into big trouble, because, like I said before, he doesn't stop. If he has a 10-0 lead, he doesn't stop. He never stops attacking, and that is his big strength.
Here comes Ronaldo now. Does he want to bite at the cherry? He's going to get a free kick. Added time of 3 minutes to come here. Someone off the training ground, maybe. What would you do in this area?
Well, you have to just a short one and go for that finishing, because taking a direct free kick, it's a bit too inconsistent in FIFA 18, and you have to go for that short one. As we can see here, combination.
This is interesting.
That's a nice one. Yeah, you will see, I think 90% of the players here will go for that short one. Maybe sometimes, you know, if you get the feeling, you could try that distance, but it's...
Oh, he's done ever so well to get through here. I think a point as well, Boras. I think it may have been FIFA 16 will come into after this attack. Marcelo there. Will he win a corner? Yes, he will. We'll just go into that corner before I talk about that. Just maybe last chance for the half. That same card again to the back post. Ronaldo this time. And referee, are we at half-time yet or not? No, we're not. We're playing on still. Ramos. Inside.
That's a good one. Oh my God.
Lovely skills. Ronaldo there.
Yeah, and this is fantastic from Gorilla, how he just he keeps composure in this situation. Instead of just stressing away a shot, he takes one extra skill move and gets into the perfect position.
Fantastic to watch.
Save.
Oh, finesse surely. De Gea again called into action.
Yeah, and it's very stressful defending against Gorilla because his micro is fantastic. His skill moves with the timing is probably the best in the world, and that's also why he scores so many goals. Timing is on point all the time.
Half time here, Boras, and Gorilla has been pretty dominant, but Wendell Lira, he still had a few chances himself.
Well, he's still in the game. I think thanks to De Gea this far, he made some great saves for him because right now Gorilla is the dominating player in this game. You can also see the stats that they are definitely in the favor for the Englishman here.
Just what I wanted to talk about was, I think it was FIFA 16. There was that free kick where you dummy over it and you'd feed it through, and 9 times out of 10 it would be a goal. But it got to a stage where everyone just knew how to defend it, didn't they? And that's the kind of the case in this year. You couldn't do that on this year. The way that you score them this year, everyone has like a different version. It seems to just be a basic layoff sometimes, but that one's so easy to defend for these guys.
Well, just the rule of thumb is make the layoff and then just use your creativity somehow. A great chance, space for Ronaldo.
Can he equalise? De Gea will save that one.
I think that was a wrong choice to move over to his right foot there because he had a defender chasing and should just continue running and shoot with his weak foot because that is team of the year. He will score with both feet.
99 Ronaldo straight down the other end. Could it be painful for Wendell Lira? No, he doesn't. He clears that one away. And can just survive to fight another day up against Gorilla. This is his first leg game. Remember, guys, 2 legs each game. Plenty of time for these guys, even if they're losing, to get back in this position. But at the moment, other than one game, we've seen a lot of goals.
Yeah, and that's also what you're going to expect watching Gorilla's game. You will see a very attacking gameplay, and this is definitely not the last goal that we saw.
No.
We're going to see at least, in total, I think, at least 10 goals from this series.
So I think last year we looked at, players like Ajax Daddy, for example, was a bit of a machine in front of goal, just kept on scoring. Do you think that's the approach that a lot of guys take now? They don't get 2 goals and sit off. They just want to keep on scoring.
Yeah, and definitely, and especially talking about the FIFA 18, I mean, defending is much more difficult, and sometimes attacking is really the best way of defending, because you don't give the ball to your opponent, and a 1-goal lead here is definitely not safe.
Well, can Gorilla extend that lead? Hullet will intercept that one. That'll be the 90 rated icon card. Oh, it's a chance. We can just feed it through. Rio Ferdinand, I know you said you're a big fan of him before the stream started. What is it about him that he's just so good? Well, always. I mean, having tall center backs, the height, that means more pixels and a better reach in the defense for the standing tackles, for the sliding tackles. And Ferdinand is just, he's so consistent in the gameplay. I tried his prime version, and I think, because I also tried Maldini, I didn't try Timothy Ramos, but I think that prime Ferdinand is the best center back in the game. He's so consistent. Well, Ronaldinho now. This is Gorilla in the blue. Chance. That one's blocked by Vieira. Patrick Vieira going back and doing his defensive duties there. A player that is often known for maybe coming back and covering in to defend. Yeah, definitely. One of the, I mean, the best midfielder in the game, and especially his prime version, which I have in my team, is an absolute phenomenon. Great goal. Wow. Another player, I was about to say, that is superior in that midfield. You said Vieira, but a lot of people will turn around to you and say, what about Hullet? He is the best icon. In the attack, yes. Attacking-wise, the best attacking midfielder. He can play as a LCM, RCM. He has this 5-star weak foot. He has 4-star skill moves. He is very fast, great passing. I mean, there's nothing that he's bad at. He's a bit of a Superman, isn't he? Yeah, he is. I mean, he's a legend also in that manner that for FIFA players, I mean, ever since he became a legend on Xbox, of course, now they call icons, but he's been the most popular legend/icon for many years, and that is for a big reason. And if you didn't know already, a little fact just heard in there, Megabit is losing 2-1 in his game. The man that was 160 3-0 in qualifying over on Xbox, is currently losing. What are you saying about that, Boras?
Well, of course, we're going to see some upsets, but this format is great in that way that even though you lose your first game, even though you lose your second game, or even your third game, you're still in the run. You only need to win 4 series and you're through. So even though you get a bad start, I mean, it doesn't mean so much. In the previous format that we had last year, we had a smaller group stage. We had 4 players in each groups, best of 1. And if you lost that first game, you were in some big trouble.
So what changes do you expect to see here? I believe it may have been Wendell Lira that did pause it as well, but I think Grilla, has he changed formation? Or?
No, he just kept his diamond. He's happy with his gameplay this far. And I think we saw some substitutes coming from the Brazilian here. He needs some fresh legs on the pitch, but there is no reason for Grilla to change anything because right now he's looking very close to his A game.
Of course, I can see the tweets coming in. Come on, Grilla, they are saying, people saying, how do I get into this? FUT Champions, you see the mode on FIFA 18. Qualifying month, the next qualifying month is next month in February to be in it with a chance of competing at that event in April, wherever it's going to be.
Yeah, and of course that is also a very big target for me, qualifying for the Spring Cup. So I cannot join you next time, Brandon. Sorry.
Well, you were so close, weren't you? I remember we were talking about it before. Was it just 2 wins difference?
Actually, it was 1 win because one of the losses were this so-called blue screen glitch, which was very unfortunate, of course. And I mean, I had 160 games and I had some margins, so it was all on me missing out on the qualification. But hopefully, yes, I can make it to the Spring Cup.
And the margin of error was only like 9 losses maybe for a lot of guys.
It was amazing. I mean, we had, I think, like 20 players with 152 wins. We had like 20 players with 153 wins. And the margins are so close because, like I said, we have so many pro players, so much talent in the scene right now. So the margins become almost invisible.
And I hear that Megabit is losing still. 4-1 down currently. We spoke to him in the hotel, me and Richard, before. When he arrived, he said, I don't know how I feel going into this tournament. I don't know if I'm that confident. However, at some point, I will be on fire. At the moment, not going to plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's not also used to this pressure. Of course, you're going to have the pressure coming into this tournament if you had an unbeaten run in the qualification month, which only 3 players had, which was him, Shells, and also, of course, my teammate Rosenmeyer, August, #AG. And he has a different pressure this year than he had last year, and we can see if he can handle this. That would be the key for him in this tournament.
We've just seen a number of games. #Harry 4-1 up after his first game, I believe. About your teammate, I think he won 4-3. Believe me or not, on his first game, I think he took a 4-3 victory of playing against a Brazilian, I believe, over there. So you'll be happy for 2 of your #boys.
Yeah, of course. Good start for the #boys.
Obviously, #Ryan involved as well there. A very talented player, obviously recently signed as well as Aga. Here comes Grilla now. He is still 4-2 up and in control, you could say, but still another game to play. Still not over yet, is it, Boras?
Definitely not, and it's best of 2. I mean, we have 12 more minutes of the series, and the Brazilian Lira, he can start fresh from the next game, maybe even try some different formation, because right now I feel that also he feels that his defense is a little bit all over the place, because Gorilla is definitely creating too many chances. You can't allow Gorilla create this many chances.
A full time here, 4-2. The scoreline in the end for Gorilla going into that second leg. Here's a little statistic for you, Boras. Kurt was 2-0 up. He lost 3-2 in his first game.
Yeah, and Kurt is a guy, of course, he coming in with maybe the biggest confidence here today, and he's looking to